Hey actors, it's shameless self-promotion weekend. And I just wanted to touch bases with everybody, get in here and see what's going on after those interesting, wonderful feedback we did on all those videos. I know a lot of you are wondering, where are the videos? Where's Amy Linden and your feedback on the videos? We had some technical issues with it, so we took them down. We're editing out some of the technical things that were going on wrong with it, and then we're going to upload it back up, just so you know. Hi, Fimel. You came to say hello? Okay. So I wanted to answer some questions, but first I have some things that are really irritating me right now, and I wanted to make sure that you guys stop doing this, okay? So Frankie Povenzano, this is directed directly to you right now. You're on the page giving people your personal advice, you call it a PSA, about what you think an actor should be doing better in their monologue. You are not to come in this group, please, and tell actors what they should be doing in their monologues. You are not an approved acting coach in this group. You don't even have an IMDb page. You're a brand new newcomer with lots of ideas. Okay, shut it. I want to shut this down right now. You commented on Marquis Liano's Valentine's Day monologue, which actually won the competition. And what you had to say is so irrelevant. And honestly, I don't know where you get off or have the gall to start throwing your opinion around on people's monologues. Okay, so I want you to stop doing that right now. And anyone else doing that. I also have looked at a lot of monologues, and I see there's a couple of actors who just feel like they need to start telling people how to act. No, that's not what we're doing in here. You can say whether you like it or not, but do not give technical advice or acting advice to other actors, okay? Let the professional acting teachers in this job, do their job, okay? Marnie Cooper is here. She's a professional acting coach. Darren Warren, Amy Linden, Margie Haber comes in, Giovanni Espiritu is here, Jack Turnbull is here, Holly Gagnier is here. There's plenty of legit acting coaches that can comment on the monologues and give feedback. Actors, especially new ones, you have nothing to say. So say nothing. You can say you liked it or didn't like it, but do not give actors advice on how to act. If you're not a working TV actor with a ton of co-star, guest star, series regular credits, shut your mouth, please. There's nothing you're going to teach somebody else, okay? And then when I go to your IMDb Pro and you don't even have an IMDb page, then you're the biggest amateur on the face of the earth. You don't give people advice on this group, okay? I can't. That was like, I saw that and I was like, Jesus Christ. Now I got to put lipstick on, I got to fix my hair, and I got to come in here and have this conversation. I'm trying to relax with my dog. Right? Oh God, that's an awful video someone posted. Okay, so hello everybody. Hello. So while we're here, I'm going to give you some advice and some guidance and some tips. I'm going to answer some questions, okay? And not just questions you have, but if you have questions, post them. I'll answer them. Right now, I have a ton of questions people have been asking, and I'm getting 1,000 DMs, of which I ask you not to do, but I get them anyway. And I get tons of DMs, so I'm going to answer some of these, okay? Tune in, because we're going to spend the next hour answering questions so that you guys have more information, because I honestly believe information is power, okay? How to properly format your acting resume. Anyone with that question, use the search bar, the little box, and type in acting resume, and everything I've posted about that will come up. Next question. What should you not put on an acting resume? Same answer. Next, what kind of additional training do you need after theater school? You need professional training from working professional actors and professional acting coaches. Not education from a university or community college, that kind of stuff, because that's very theater-based. You need on-camera TV training. Okay, what kinds of credits are, I want to start sneezing already. I must be very excited about my list. What kind of Where's the question? What kind of credits are respected on an acting resume? Listen, I'm going to be straight up honest with everybody. Credits that people recognize are the most respected training. So films that people recognize, Gone Girl, you know, Marvel, any film that's recognized. That's when you're at the level where you're doing supporting roles in feature films that people know. That's the most powerful credits, as well as television shows that people recognize on any of the major networks or Netflix, etc. So everything else is below that. So just know that that's the hierarchy, and you work your, you know, and it goes, you work your way down. As you're an actor, you're going to start out with, like, you did some local television show. That's great. Do it. And then you're going to keep building up to get more roles and more roles and more well-known roles, and then pretty soon some hit shows and stuff like that. But names that people recognize, that's always more important on a resume. But you'll get there. Don't think about that in the beginning. That's not necessary if you're a beginner. Let's see, how to determine your type. Okay, so your type is the essence of who you are. It's what people see the minute they look at you. So I know I've posted, I don't know if I posted in here, in the Winner's Circle, we have a type form. And you basically print out 25 copies of that, and you go into the mall. Somebody goes into the library the other day, in the movie theater, and you hand it to people and ask them if they'll look at you and circle the types of roles that they see fit you, the descriptions. You don't ask your parents, you don't ask your friends, because they know you and they are judging you based on your history, not on like a stranger would. So make sure you have strangers doing it. Okay. And then once they circle those things, you know, it tells you whether they see you as a jock or a nerd or a best friend or the leading man or the romantic love interest or a villain. You know, when you add up all those things and see which ones have the most numbers, and your top 5 are your top 5. That's how people see you. Now, amongst that, like say you have a teacher, you have different essences and energies around being a teacher. You might be an angry teacher, a really hard disciplinarian, someone that doesn't take any shit, no bull, like me. Or you have these sweet, gentle, soft, patient, and you know, gentle, understanding teachers. I have moments, but that's not typically me. You have different energies around the teacher, so you should know what energies you play around those roles too. Next question, how to select a good headshot photographer. Well, if you're in all over the world, in the United States somewhere, not in LA, you're bound to find photographers who do portraits. They shoot interiors of buildings. They shoot weddings and food for businesses and portraits of families. That's not headshots. So your headshot photographer should be somebody who really specializes in taking actors' pictures. So my suggestion is look up some of the great headshot photographers in LA or New York. And you'll see that they have a lot of the similarities. They use great lighting. It really focuses on the actors. There's some kind of dynamic and energetic appeal. And then show whoever it is you're looking at, whichever photographers you're trying to work with, show them these examples and tell them that's what you need. And see who can do that. How do you dress in your headshot session? Okay, so once you figure out your type, let's say you're going to be a teacher, you dress like a teacher. Let's see. Usually like 375 to 575. Where should you get your headshots printed? I usually use Prince Charming Online or Argentum. You just can go there, upload your photo, crop it, put a what's it called, a border around it. Yes, your pictures need a border with your name in the border. And then they mail them to you. You do not need to print out every single picture you're using on Actors Access. Just pick your friendly image and a serious image. You know, like your commercial shot can be used for friendly theatrical roles. What kind of paper should they be on? The kind of paper that Argentum uses and Prince Charming. Do you need to print many headshots? You need to have 2 headshots that you pick out of your session that you print. One dramatic, one playful, friendly, energetic. You need to have a stack in your car, maybe of 20 of each of those, and have them ready to go into auditions. You should never go to meetings or auditions or any kind of interaction with another industry person without headshots in your car. Okay. What's the difference between a demo reel and an acting clip? A demo reel is made up of several projects. Hi, Sean and Grace. A demo reel is made up of several projects that you have shot. Projects that you booked and shot. They have been on TV or they've been in films or whatever. And you're taking a little bit of footage out of projects you've already done, legit projects you've done. And usually that's the kind of thing that's 3 minutes long, has 4 or 5 different scenes in it. You might have one theatrical demo reel that just shows your serious work and one comedic demo reel that shows your comedy work. There's also something called a producer's reel, which will be a combination of those two things. And you use them for different purposes. So if a director wants to see more of your work, you might send them the producer's reel or the director's reel. Sometimes an agent will submit your theatrical reel, which is a bunch of theatrical work you've done, the serious work. Sometimes an agent will want your comedy reel. But all agents and managers use clips, because when we're trying to get you an audition, that's different than showing a director your body of work. So a clip is to show somebody kind of a variety of your work, a variety of different works. When we're trying to get you an audition, we're not trying to show the casting director a variety of work. We're trying to show them a very clear, specific picture. You said you want someone who can play a lawyer. Here's someone who plays a lawyer. Here's their lawyer clip. And that will get you the audition. Now, once you have the audition, you go in there and you do what they ask you to do. And then someone might say, can you send me his reel? And that may mean that they want to show your body of work to some other people to get a feel for what else you can do and what your range is and these kind of things. But it's not what we use to get auditions. Auditions, we use clips. So as a beginning actor, you should have clips. You can also have a reel, but you need clips more than anything. How to shoot clips that match your type. Use an iPhone in front of a blank wall, great lighting, and shoot a self-tape. Or go pay a company that does great, they sell, shoot self-tapes. They have great sound, great lighting, and you can just pay $25 an hour and they'll shoot your self-tapes. Or get with friends that have cameras and shoot indie films, shoot short films and use footage from that. Or pay a company like Real Arc to shoot your footage. And at that level, they are going to use sets and props and scenes and all that kind of stuff. There's lots of different ways. How are we doing? We're getting through the questions. Let's keep going. Where do you find material for your clips? You can go to showfax.com. You can go to sites, type up sites in Google and look for materials. You can watch television and transcribe the transcript and then change some of the names and places and things. You can get it out of a book. You can get it from, you can have somebody write it for you. There's plenty of places to get material. Just make sure you're picking a scene that would be something you would be cast as. Yesterday I watched a clip here of a girl who was like playing 20 years older than she would really be cast as. Stick to your age range and play something within your type. Should you pay to get a reel made? You can if you want to spend the money. I would pay. I'd pay. If I needed 5 clips, I'd probably pay for 2 of them. I would probably create some self-tapes, and I would probably get with some people that shoot, indie projects and have a combination of all those things if I was starting out. What online websites do you need and how much do they cost? You need Actors Access and Backstage for sure when you're starting out. Cast It Talent, I think, has some, so does it. You need Casting Networks. So Casting Networks is for commercials, web series, some short films, student films. Actors Access is mostly television and film. Backstage is a lot of short films, student films, theater, So, you know, see which ones get you more results. And they're like 20 bucks a month, almost all of them. Except Actors Access, once you pay for it, it's $68 a year. I think Backstage is like $119 a year, and so is LA Casting, something like that. Okay. Which casting websites are worth paying to be on? Well, definitely the ones I just said. And if you're in regional markets, you'll have to try it. What info can you add to your online profiles to help you get more noticed? Well, a casting director is looking to fill a certain role. Okay? So if they're looking to fill a sarcastic jock, an arrogant jock, captain of the football team, they want to see very specific footage and pictures that look like that. And in order to play that big jock kind of guy, that's your type. You know, you're going to look like that, right? So what makes you get noticed is if you fit their need. I think actors spend a lot of time trying to figure out, how can I be everything to everyone and play everything and fit everything? You cannot. You cannot. I cannot play a 7-foot-tall black male basketball player. That's not my type. And there's so many types of roles you're never going to play. They're not your type, right? So you have to learn what your type of role is that you're going to play, because that is what you're going to play. And maybe you can stretch past that a little bit more in the future, but stop trying to fit what other people think you should be. Stop trying to be what you think other people want you to be. Look at what you are and figure out what that is. And then you build your package around that. That's it. And that's how you stand out. You submit yourself for the right projects. You don't just submit yourself for everything. You're not going to fit most everything. You submit specifically for projects that you really have a chance to get called in on, things that you're right for. That's a huge mistake new actors make, you know, and not just new. I mean, I've been in this business a long time. I have a lot of questions to get through, so I won't stray too much from what I'm doing, but no need to blaspheme. Scott Cooper, you talking to me? I don't know what you're saying. In this business, I've been in this business a long time, and I've heard everything come out of actors' mouths that you could possibly hear. I've heard it in publicity offices, in agencies, in management companies, in castings. I've heard it from actors, in acting classes, in meetings. There's nothing new that you're possibly ever going to say to me that I haven't heard from an actor. And one of the things actors always say is, I can play everything. No, you can't, unless you're in 6th grade and you want to play the tree, and then you'll play the grandmother, and then you'll play the dog, and then you'll play your brother, and then you'll play your own sister. I mean, come on. In theater, yes, but on television and film, no. You're going to play exactly what you are, as close to your type as humanly possible, because that's what we're going to believe when we're watching on a screen. Okay. How many photos should you upload to your online photos? I'd say 10. How often should you submit? Every single time you see a role that you were right for is how you should submit, which means you look at it every day, numerous times throughout the day, and you submit ASAP. Because if you wait to the end of the day, other people's submissions got in first, and they're going to look at those first. Why do I have to upload a variety? Why must I upload a variety of headshots and clips to my profiles? Thanks, Chamir. I agree. Why should you upload a variety of headshots and clips to your profiles? Okay, I think I've covered it, but I will just say it again. If you're going to play a basketball player, you should have a clip where you are dressed in athletic wear and you look like a basketball player. And then you should have a headshot that looks like that. And you should have a clip of you actually playing basketball. That way you are very clearly telling the casting director, I am right for that role. I play basketball, here's my clip, and you look like a basketball player and you're dressed like one. They're looking for a basketball player. Their job is not to see if you can play a psychologist, a teacher, you know, a neighbor, a cat sitter. They're casting a specific role. If you're right for that role, submit for it. And then show them that you're right for it in the footage and in your picture. Which pro acting teachers and classes, okay, why? So the answer is, why should you do that? Because if you don't do that, if you don't upload headshots that match your type and clips that match your type, they will bring someone else in for the audition and not you. Okay, on to the next question. Which pro acting teachers and classes should you study with after your college training? Well, it depends on what city you're in. So if you're in Atlanta, you would train with different people. If you were in New York, different people. LA, different people. Chicago, different people. But you want professionals, not university. Not saying that there aren't professionals that teach at the university, but we're trying to see what you've done after university training. How to find pro acting training in your state? Well, one of the things I always suggest is that you go to like your Facebook group, Wisconsin Actors Facebook, and ask them, hey, everybody here, who are your favorite acting teachers? And if you start to see the same name come up, that might be someone to go to. Call your local SAG-AFTRA office and see if they might have some suggestions. Go to the professional theater that plays down, like the one that you have to pay for, and go and ask the director of the shows or some of the actors there in the show. You know, they stay afterwards and in a little line and they say hello to all the cast. Ask them where they're training. How to self-submit. How to self-submit. Create an online profile. Upload your headshots that match your type, your acting clips that match your type, and submit. I can't go into that one. What to write in the notes section of submissions. The notes section of submissions are where you write things like, just booked the lead in a short film, was pinned for a Warner Brothers show, have callback for producers for NBC show, currently nominated for a Best Actress in the Idlewild Film Festival for the movie The Bomb. The Bomb. Okay. I have to entertain myself. I have to entertain myself. Okay. Next. How do you break down and prepare your audition material? It's a good question. And I will think about it in terms of this. Thank you, Cindy Kwan. God bless you too. Here's the deal. I am not in the business of telling you how to become Joaquin Phoenix and win the Oscar. That has been a long road for Joaquin Phoenix, and he's almost kicked himself out of the business so many times by being crazy and being difficult to work with, you know, but he's so freaking super talented. And he just keeps brushing himself off and getting back on the horse that he's been kicked off of, by the horse, by himself, by the industry, and keeps going. He's just so talented and so gifted. So he just keeps going and tries to become a better version of himself every day. That's what you do as an actor, you know. I'm not teaching you how to have a career like a superstar like Joaquin. So many things have come into play in his career that have given him opportunities, that have allowed him to shine as an actor. He's turned down roles that he probably could have done amazing things in. He's acted out in ways that have gotten fired, removed from projects before they've even filmed. This is not about how to build the life of a star. Okay, that's a different journey and one none of you are ready for, right? Most of you here are new people. So what I'm here to teach you is, how can you get an agent or manager? How can you get in the door for auditions? And what do you have, what level of material do you have to present to people in order for anyone to take you seriously in this business? Because if you're starting from the bottom, which all actors do, even Joaquin Phoenix, I mentioned him because he's on our minds, right? He just won an Oscar. When you're starting at the bottom and you're working your way up, You are nowhere near the level of Charlize Theron, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., Joaquin Phoenix. These people are in a different stratosphere than newcomers. In order to get to that stratosphere, there are certain steps you have to take. There are certain things you have to understand on how the business works. There's a platform you will build so that you can actually reach those levels as your career progresses. Just your foundation and become competitive and marketable. You're never going to get up there with the big boys. And so if your dream is to be up there with the big boys on a Marvel movie or starring with Matt McConaughey and this and that, you got a lot of work to do if you're new. And it starts with the basics. It's like building a house. It starts with the basics. The question, how do I break down, what did I see that? How to break down and prepare your audition material. This is the question of an amateur who's at the base, who's building the foundation. And so are all these questions. How many headshots do you need? And what kind of paper should they be printed on? And like, we're not in the Scarlett Johansson realm. Okay, this group is for new people. And most of you will stay new until you learn how to put your package together, how to put your headshots together so they represent your types, how to, just convincing you guys that you need 10 headshots up on there is like, oh my God, that's $10 a headshot, that's $100. I cannot put $100 on it. Oh, okay. Keep doing student films. I don't know what to tell you. You have to put together, in order to get from the place you're at to the next level, you have to put together a package that any industry person will look at and go, yeah, they're a pro. And if you're an amateur, you don't even know how to do that. You don't know how to do that. And if you want to get to the next level, you have to learn how to do that, right? You're not going to be in a movie with Robert Downey Jr. opposite him with a shitty package, with terrible headshots, with bad acting clips, with no understanding of how the business works and how to get an agent, and with no agent and not know how to audition. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I mean, unless you were standing above the set and the roof collapsed and you fell into his arms and it was exactly what they were shooting at that moment and they needed that scene to happen and you fell into his arms and they were like, oh my God, leave it in. That's the only way you're going to be in a scene with Robert Downey Jr. unless you figure out what you're doing and how this business works. What I'm teaching in here is the fucking basics. This is the basics. And arguing with you people over the basics on a daily basis is ridiculous. Like, I literally could close this page down and go work at ICM and go deal with actors who are on the level I'm used to working with professionals. Okay, but I'm in here talking to beginners because I want you to know how the business works so you can move up the ranks to the next levels. Because I care. And I know that a lot of people don't care enough to put this kind of time into helping you. Now, there are people in here who do. Like Brent Paxton goes live, James Chassone goes live, Sandra Horner's in here often, Amy Linden is here often, Darren Warren is in here. They're like, I'm trying to remember who comes live in here a lot. Well, and who all the moderators and all those people that come live in here a lot to help you guys, you know. It's insane. And all the working actors. These are people like me who have the heart to help you and really want to see you move forward to the next level. We don't want you to be stuck down here because we know that 95% of you guys get stuck down here and you never get anywhere else. And then you end up going back to Kansas or wherever. And so all of us in this group, the ones that are committed and in here on a daily basis, are really your biggest fans. They're the people who know that the potential for you to work as a working actor is there, but if you could just get your shit together enough to get there. And so we are repeating ourselves 9,000 times, hoping you're going to listen. At some point, Like, hopefully so many of you listen that we start to see the success of what happens when you do. And we see those stories, you know, like these clips. How long should the clips be? 35 seconds. There are two important things when you're becoming a working actor, when you're starting out. Your acting skill. So there are three things. Your acting skills, your audition skills, and your package. So your acting skills. Are you believable? Do you mean what you say? Do you know how to break down a scene and mean every line, every word, feel everything? Is it connected to something? Does it come from a memory? Have you created a memory around it? Do you know why you're saying what you're saying? Do you know what you mean? Do you know what the other actor wants? Or are you aware of what's going on in the scene? Because so many new people are just trying to learn their lines and memorize their scripts. That is not acting. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. Not if you want to go higher up in this business. Okay. So learning how to act is the basic foundation of anybody's career. Some people are really talented at it and they can do it better than anyone, even without training. But it's like the rarest thing that exists. I mean, very, 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 very rarely can an actor be brilliant without any training. It can happen, but you are probably not the exception. Okay. That being said, the second thing is your audition skills. Your audition skills make or break your career. First of all, not being a good actor just takes you out of the running, right? But your audition skills, you get the opportunity, you're in front of casting, and then your audition skills aren't strong. You don't know how to have a strong opening. You don't have a beginning, middle, and end to your scene. You don't know how to end it on a strong note. You don't have an action opening. You're sitting all the way through it. There's like 80 million mistakes that you make as a new person, even in the first 5 years, even with a couple student films and short films and these kind of things. That's not the level of Robert Downey Jr., okay? You're still playing with the babies. Your audition skills are everything. That determines whether or not the casting director will ever call you in again, or if they're going to give you a couple of years to go learn some more acting skills. So they might just say, you know what, not ready, call them in a few years. And then you go into a different file. If you're bad, they just don't call you in again, right? Or they give you an opportunity to move to the next level, which is the callbacks, the producer sessions, the mix and match, the writer sessions, the network sessions, because you're good, but you can't just be good, you're great. And the choices you make are strong and consistent, and you take amazing direction, and they love the work you're doing. Now, how did you get that good? Because you studied for 6 hours a day on your audition techniques. First, you studied 6 hours a day on your acting techniques, and then you studied 6 hours a day in your audition techniques. But if you don't put any time and energy into your package, they're not even going to call you in for the audition. You see, those are the pillars that you're building your career on. Your acting skills, your audition skills, your package. In order to get an agent or manager, we judge packages. This group is called Talent Managers for Actors, because talent managers develop new actors. And by bringing in 100 agents and managers, a lot of them are developmental, because we develop new people, because that's who we care about. That's who we want to help. ICM doesn't give a fuck about you. CAA doesn't give a fuck about you. If someone wants to run around and say, oh, Timothy, what are they doing? They're just, you know, those are developmental manager. Yeah, who else is going to be in here? You think CAA is coming in here to spend their day with you to develop you? You lost your mind? CAA, William Morris, ICM, Endeavor, none of those people give a shit about you. Not until you're making money. Then all of a sudden you'll become important. So right now, boutique agencies, agencies that have a small space on their roster for developmental actors, people like me who are massively passionate about helping developmental actors. That's who we have in here. Other working actors who are further ahead of you, who want to come back and help you. acting coaches who work with developmental actors to teach them how to be good. That's who's here. It is your #1 support group. But if your package sucks, no agent or manager is going to give you the time of day, because what are we going to do with an Actors Access profile with no pictures on it? What are we going to do with an Actors Access profile with no footage? Like, I can't call up casting and say, he's great, well, send me the tape. He doesn't have a tape. Why not? Well, he didn't have the $22 to upload it to Actors. Do you guys understand? Okay, your package is what I'm teaching you in the winner's circle. It is the foundation. It opens the doors. If your acting skills are strong and your audition skills are strong and your package is strong, now you have the 3 components it takes to move to the next levels, the next levels, the next levels. When I hear you, when I talk to an actor and do any kind of consultation, I can tell from their conversation if any of those 3 things are missing. And if they're not, if any of them are missing, they're not going any further. You can put together a great package, but if your audition skills suck, it stops right there. You might get in the room, you might get an audition, you might get more auditions because your package was great, but your audition sucked, so they're not calling you back. So these things are not, it's not one or the other. You can't just, oh, I'm going to acting skills, I'm on acting classes, isn't that enough? Nope. Oh, I have a great package, isn't that enough? Nope. I'm a good auditioner. Yeah. It's not one or the other, it's all 3. Can everyone say that? It's all 3. The cameras are backwards. It's all 3. That is how you get success in this business. I promise you, Robert Downey Jr. has a great package, can audition like crazy, and has great acting skills. You go to any top level actor, they have all 3. Judi Dench has great headshots. She knows how to audition, and she has a great press package. She has great clips. All you have to do is really go to the movie theater and you can watch all of her clips. There's no such thing as an actor at the top who doesn't have all 3 of those things. So if you're scrounging around in the bottom of your acting career trying to figure out, why don't I get more auditions? My agent isn't getting me out enough. I need to switch to another agent. And you can't audition and you don't have a good package, fuck you, it's you. It's you. It's hard words, people, but it's the truth. And babies, I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. My goal, and I said it all along, is that you will hear what I'm saying and take action on those 3 things. I shouldn't be fighting to get you to take the winner's circle, because there's no other place in the world that offers the information that that course does on how to put your package together. There's no such thing in the world that exists. So every single actor should have it. Every single actor in this group should have it. And if you don't, you're a complete and fucking idiot. There is absolutely no way without auditioning skills that you're going to book a job playing opposite Robert Downey Jr. First of all, you're going to be too nervous. And anybody who thinks that they can get into this business and be successful without auditioning skills, you're a fucking idiot. You're not being realistic. There are other actors who are better than you. They train harder than you. They're more talented than you. So you have to train harder than them, and you have to get better than they do if you want to get that job. So you cannot be complaining about, I don't have the money to take acting classes. And I'm already taking 1 acting class. I can't take an audition class too. Okay. Yes, it can take longer. You can decide over the year, 1 month I'm going to take audition, 1 month I'm going to take acting, 1 month I'm going to take improv, 1 month I'm going to take scene study, 1 month I'm going to take stunt training, 1 month I'm going to take scene study, 1 month. You can do it that way. Break it down into 4-week sessions, but you need all of that training. Excuses are for losers. Okay? And if you're one of those people that are like, oh, all these new actors, oh, I'm going to win an Academy Award and I'm going to say thank you when I win. Really? Do you have the winner's circle? Do you even know your type? Do you have a package? If I look at your Actors Access right now, are there 20 photos up there? Do you have acting clips that match your type? Is your profile filled out correctly? Do you know how to audition? Are your clips good? Do you know how to act? Why don't you get that shit together first and then tell me you'll say thank you in your Oscar speech? Because then I'll believe you. In the meantime, it's just like a lot of wannabes running around talking about wanting to be something. There's a difference between wannabe and doing. There's a difference between dream and action. And there's a difference, you've heard the saying, put your money where your mouth is. It costs money in this business to take a course like the Winner's Circle, but you better be glad it's only $300 or $400 because it could be $1,500. You should be glad headshots are, headshots are $400 a pop. It's what it is. It would be nice if a photographer shot it for $10, but that's not how it works. And you would like to have your Actors Access take 20 pictures of you up there and not have them be $10 each. You'd like them to be free. They give you 2 free ones. You got to pay for the other 8. That's just business. It's called the cost of doing business. Yes, it would be nice if all of these services were free for everybody. The Winner's Circle's free, everyone. Acting classes are free. Audition classes are free. Headshots are free. Putting your clips up on Actors Access is free. And more headshots is free, everyone. Free! Nope. You people are living in a fantasy land. That's not how this business works. Nothing's free. I mean, even the hours and hours and hours and hours of my YouTube channel that I gave you guys for free cost me my marriage. So it ain't even free. Because I spent 95% of my time with you guys and 5% of my time with my husband. And he eventually found someone else who was paying him more attention. So everything has a price, people. Nothing's free. Even going to sit in front of the sun for free. If you're out there too long, we'll give you skin cancer. Come on, there's a price. I think instead of thinking about how can I spend the least amount of money in this business and still be successful, you better start thinking about what do I need to be successful and how am I going to figure out how to afford it? I hope you all are understanding. And thank you for saying I'm pretty. It's all 3. If you guys realize that it was all 3 in this conversation, oh, I like that, Greg. Do you have Wendy's Hollywood Winner's Circle checklist? You should be filling it out once a month. Yeah. I mean, anybody in here who's not in the Winner's Circle has really no fucking idea what they're doing. And so in the Winner's Circle, we know what we're doing, right? There's a checklist in there. That's exactly what you have to do. And you just go through it every month and make sure you're doing stuff on it. That's it. Do it. And then you have results. It's not complicated. I'll answer some more questions, but I think I got my point across. And I think you understand that you have to approach this career equally and hitting all 3 of those pillars. You have to. One pillar without the other, the whole thing topples. It's like 3, it's like a triangle. Each pillar holds up the roof. And if you kick one out, the whole thing crumbles. Okay. I'm going to go back to these amateur questions that Robert Downey Jr. figured out 35 years ago. Should you get coached before auditions? Yes. Yes, you should get coached before auditions because it just makes your audition better. How should I audition in person? Go into the audition with a positive attitude. Make sure you're off book and you know what the scene is about. You had coaching first. And you go in there and you do the very best job you can. You make a relationship with the reader. You mean every word you say, and you thank them politely and leave. What happens in the audition room? You walk into the audition, the room, the area where you first go in, you sign in your name. Now, I always tell actors, sit down first, get your breath, relax, get there early. Then when you feel composed, go sign in. That gives you just a little time. Now that you're on the list, they're going to call you when they're ready. You go in, you say hello to everyone, you put your purse down immediately by the door. Do not fumble around with it. Don't ask if you can put it on their desk. Don't shake anybody's hand, because it's not because nobody's better than you. It's because there's too many germs. Nobody wants the flu. The flu means casting directors can't work, and they lose money, and they have children to feed. So nobody wants the flu. Keep your hands to yourself. If a casting director reaches out their hand to say hello to you, then you take it. Otherwise, never. And then you do your audition. If you have questions about the script, you ask them. And then you do your audition. You make eye contact with the reader, and you do your very best to build a relationship and make that a true conversation with the reader. Then you thank them and say goodbye. If they give you redirection, they say, we loved it. Let's try that with a little more enthusiasm in the beginning, maybe a little less enthusiasm, whatever. Change it, because you need to do redirection. You can't just do what you just did. Do what they just asked you to change. Then you leave the room and you thank them, and then send them a thank you card. What mistakes should you avoid in the audition room? Don't be late. Don't have an attitude. Keep your concentration and your focus on your character and what your character feels. Don't be worrying about what they think about you. Don't be trying to give them what you think they want. Be true to the character. Implement your acting truth. Where should you look when you are auditioning? At the camera or the reader? You should look at the reader, unless they tell you to look at the camera. Sometimes in commercials, you look at the camera. If you have any question, you can ask them. How does the audition process work? When you go in, when you submit for a role that you're right for, and you should really only be submitting for roles you're right for, because that's the only ones you're going to get auditions for anyway. So, and casting gets 1,000 pictures. They will go through those pictures. They have little numbers under each picture that says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they circle all the ones, which are the ones they know they want to see, because they know the actor, they've seen the actor's work, they like the actor's look, whatever, they like the tape. They circle a little 1, and then they hit a button that says schedule 5 minutes apart. And then all of those people get audition time 5 minutes apart from each other. So everybody gets a C-mail or an alert if it's actors, LA casting. And then casting goes back through the submissions and looks, and they get any 5s they circle. Maybe they can sign the 1 to mean anything or the 5 to mean anything. I'm just assigning 1 as the one they want to see, 5 as they don't. They can circle 5s and kick them out of the system. They don't need those. They don't want to see those people. 2s. These people I might want to see. Let me look at their reel. Believable. Yes. I'm looking for this kind of type. Okay, let's try it. Now we're going to schedule the 2s 5 minutes after we've seen the 1s. Like the day after we've seen the 1s, okay? We're seeing the 1s because those are our first choices. Now we're going to see the number 2s. Let's see if any of those are good. Whatever they do, they're going to have to beat what we saw yesterday, because yesterday's we saw the best. Today we're seeing the second choices, and they have to beat what we saw yesterday. So they're going to have to be great, okay? And some of them will be. Some of you will be great. And then you'll be the one to beat. Okay. Then how does it work? You probably go in, they put you on tape, they thank you, goodbye, and then they go through the tapes. And they select the tapes they want to send to producers. They don't send every single tape they just did. They take out the tapes that should not go further, and they delete those or put them in a different folder or whatever, and they select the tapes they think are good enough to be seen by the producers, and they send those on to producers. And producers watch the tapes. And producers say, I want to see these people, that people, or these people. And so casting is told which people to bring back, and they bring them back. And then the producers and directors of network decides who gets the job. And then that person or people who get the job, the producers, the showrunners, the network, they tell the casting director, these are the ones we want to offer the job. And the casting calls your agent or manager and closes the deal. The casting director's job is to bring people in and then do the contracts with the people that get the job. And their job is to give you insight in the audition, because they've talked to the producers, directors, and writers. They know what the character is supposed to be like. And they have ideas, and they say, if you try to approach it this way, that's more what they're looking for. They are not deciding who gets the role. They're trying to help you. That's why people shouldn't be scared of casting directors. So they're really your best friend, because they're trying to help you get to where they know producers want that character to be. So any direction they give you, it's not a question, am I good or am I bad? Am I right or am I wrong? Was I good enough to be like me? That's not their job. They're not there to like you. Their job is to see if they can help you get to the place where you fit the role more of what the producers are looking for. So they're there to help you. Stop being scared of those people. They're your best friend in the room. What mistakes should you avoid in the audition room? Don't be late. Don't make small talk. Don't be obnoxious. Don't act like everybody owes you anything. Just be humble. You're there. If you got a role, an audition, there were thousands of people who didn't. Just be grateful. What is a callback? Producer session, network session. What do you do in these sessions? Well, once again, like I said, if we're talking to Scarlett Johansson, we would not be having this conversation. But we're talking to a room full of amazing, talented people who are coming up in the business and who are taking direction and advice and guidance from those of us who are spending our time here volunteering to give it to you, right? Okay, so a callback. A callback is something you get after you've had an audition. So the very first audition you ever go on is called a pre-read. What it means is the casting directors are pre-reading you to see if you fit the role that they're trying to cast, if you have the essence of the description of the character, if you are believable. Then they will decide to give you a callback and go to the next level. They will not be taking you to see their producers until they've had a pre-read, till they've read you first, unless they know you. So a callback is after you've had the first audition and they've said, yep, they meet certain criteria. 1, it was believable. 2, it fits the role. 3, the person was professional and came on time and didn't give me any attitude. And when I gave them redirection in the room, they could take the redirection and apply it. That's good. Let's give them a callback. So maybe they read 100 people in the pre-read and now we're down to 30 people in the callback. The callback is basically, please do what you just did, only now so-and-so is going to be in the room and they want to see it too. That's sometimes how that happens. Or they want to work with you a little bit more and try to see if they can get your performance a little more like what the producers are looking for. So they're going to give you some more redirection and try to give you a little bit more advice. They're helping you. They're helping you. They're like there to help you. That's it. That's their whole job, to help you go to the producers. All right. So then once they've decided who is able to go to the producers, then you go to the producer session. And in that session, the producers may have ideas for how they want to see you do the role. Now, understand that if this character has never been seen before in anything, that character is not fully fleshed out yet. And the writers are in the room sometimes, and they're kind of using the actors in a way as a live reading to their character. You may or may not know this, but sometimes producers are watching and giving you redirection, and while they're doing that, they're learning things about the character they didn't know, that the actors bringing things to that character that were like, yeah, that's so great. Let's leave that in the final script. No matter who books the job, let's have our character do that. So the actor is in a collaboration with the writers and the producers in the producer session, fleshing that character out a bit more. And they're watching different actors do different things with the character and emphasize different things and have different viewpoints and different perspectives and have a different voice in the audition room. And the producers are trying to see what fits their vision the closest. Or if someone comes in and does something that wasn't even what they thought of, but it's better than what they thought, and they're like, we're going in a totally different direction on that character. It's going to be male, not female. And it's going to be African American instead of Asian. That happens too. Or we like this actor so much, let's write in a role for them. Because what they just did was so interesting. That's going to be so great in our show. Okay, these are the kind of decisions being made in producer sessions. Now, if it's television, it goes to the network, another level. That's when the head of casting for the network comes in, as well as the casting director that they hired to cast that show. You know, the network casting director is the supervisor over all of the other casting directors who cast all the shows. And then you have the network casting director, that's their boss. They oversee all the pilots and all the shows. And all these other casting directors. Everybody's in that room now, so your nerves better be calm, and you better know how to relax, and you better know yoga and how to breathe and how to meditate and how to audition and not be in your head and not be thinking about trying to please everybody and be what everybody wants you to be and thinking if you're good enough and all that shit. It's called actor shit that actors use to sabotage themselves. And you should just be clearly focused on who your character is and the relationship with the reader. And taking direction, because now there'll be many people giving direction. Directors, producers, do you have any feedback? You have any feedback? Yeah, let's have her try it this way. Okay. And then they'll get, thank you for your time. I'm so glad you came. And then you will be dismissed. And the next person will come in and go through that. And your job is just to be calm, cool, and strong and focused. That's what happens in the audition process. Okay? What do? Stay focused, stay calm, stay confident, and kind and humble. Be easy to work with. Don't show temper tantrums and frustrations and be an ass, because then it's a no. How can you stand out in auditions? Be good and do everything I just said. All right. How to self-tape for auditions. Always have good lighting, always have good sound. Always be framed correctly in the frame. See how I'm in the frame? There's not like way too much over my head. I'm not way off to the side, you know. I'm like right in the center. You can see me from the waist up. You can see my eyes, right? Good lighting. And be not speaking to the camera. We saw a lot of these mistakes in Valentine's monologues yesterday. Saw some really good ones too, but mostly not good. Don't be looking at the camera. That's the only time you do that is when you're doing hosting, having a conversation. You're the host of the show, the host of the program. If you're doing a commercial, or if you're selling a product, right? But other than that, you pick an eye line. The camera should be at your eye level. It should never be below you where you're talking like this or above you where you're talking like this. It should always be right in eye level. And that you're talking to the reader. Put a person there if you can, or put a piece of tape, whatever, but your eyes should be there. And one of the big mistakes yesterday were people's eyes darting around and looking down all the time and looking up all the time. And watch television with the sound off. And see how many times you see actors who are working do that. Go watch a Marvel movie even. I love Marvel. Turn the sound down. Put the characters, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and check off every time you see them looking around and looking down and looking here. No, you're not going to see it. They're connected. They're connected. Watch any television show, any movie. The majority of the time, an actor is connected. You have to learn how to be connected in your auditions. If you don't know how to do that, that's pillar one. That ain't going to work. All right, what else do we need to see? What kind of lighting kit do I need for my self-tape auditions? I'm sure if you use this search box and look up lighting kit, many people have shown examples of lighting kits before. What kind of credits are allowed on a resume and are worth doing? There's no such thing as worth doing. If you're trying to get experience, they're almost all worth doing for experience. Just don't do something that goes against your moral value. If someone asked me to be in a movie where I was having sex with rabbits, I would say no. I don't know what came to me, but that's what, or any kind of aim. I personally don't want to do things I don't want to do. But as an actor sometimes, like, you know, you might play a racist. Well, yeah, because you're telling the story of maybe some behavior that is completely inappropriate and how people treat each other. You know, treating people like they're less than because they're a different color skin is ridiculous. I always think about racist behavior. And I think, you know, I live in a world, in a universe where everything is so full of diversity. There's different colored flowers and different colored animals and different kinds of food and different kinds of plants, and there's different kinds of people. And thank God it's so beautiful and different. Because I can imagine if everyone had black skin, everywhere you went, it's okay, they can all have it, but there'd be no variety, there'd be no difference. If every flower was a rose, that's pretty, but that's all there'd be. And if the only food they had was rice, I'd be happy because I like rice, but there'd be nothing else. It's about variety that makes life so interesting. You know, having all those different shades of people is a beautiful thing. And having all those different types of foods and plants and animals and weather and emotions, it's all amazing. And when one group of people thinks that their religion or their race is more beautiful than another, it's bad thinking. But you're going to play characters who think like that. So you might not morally agree with that character, but it's your responsibility to play that character, to teach people about humanity. You can turn down the types of roles that you feel go against something you don't want to do, like if it's nudity and you don't want to do that. Or if it's like celebrating child pornography and you're like, I'm not being in a movie celebrating child pornography. You know, you might have moral reasons why you're not doing stuff like that. But as an actor, your job is to tell a story and to be believable and to find some sort of association with that character. Something about that character that you like, so you can actually play it. Okay? And sometimes some of those difficult roles are worth doing. And also don't kick yourself out of a role just because there's nudity, because managers and agents can negotiate how the nudity is shot. Is it gratuitous? Is it like just there's your vagina and we're just showing the camera, everyone take a look? Or is it something that's really useful to the scene? Is it really required in the storyline? Can we shoot it behind steam, or can we shoot it behind a shower curtain? Can we shoot it with a dresser in the way? I mean, how can we do that so that we get the essence that she's naked or he's naked without being obnoxious? It's not a porn movie, right? Next question. Content credits are allowed. Everything's allowed. I mean, okay, that's not true. Allowed. What's allowed on a resume? What kind of credits are allowed? Well, don't put beauty pageants on a resume. I mean, unless you won Miss America, that would go in the special skills section. Or at the top, current Miss America. But, you know, don't put beauty pageants and you sang in the mall. And if you were taking my course, you would know what goes on a resume. I don't want to really spend my time on that question anymore. I'm already pushing my boundaries by doing all of these questions. So let's move on. What kind of lighting kit do I need? We did that. What kind of resume? Okay. What can you post about your auditions and acting jobs? Okay. You can post that you got an audition for CBS, but you cannot say, I got an audition for that show. You can post that you booked a role on a network CBS show, but you cannot post the name of the show. And you cannot post pictures from the audition. And you cannot post pictures of actors from the show or any kind of artwork from the show, because nobody is supposed to know you booked that role until they have a release date and until it airs. And once they have an IMDb Pro, because now they're announcing to the public that you're in the cast. What should you not post about your audition so you don't get fired? Yeah. So that's two questions. What can you post about your auditions and acting jobs? Generalisms. And what can you not post? Specifics. Don't give away plot lines. Don't give away other actors that are in. If you're in a commercial, don't post that you booked a Ford commercial. Let's say you're Asian. Don't post you booked a Ford commercial, because you're just telling their competitors that they're going after the Asian market and they're using Asian actors. Don't do it. Your job is to just show up and do your job as an actor. What is expected on set? Professionalism. Walk on set and say hello to everyone. When not the director. Don't just go walking up to people and interrupt them. What I'm saying is, if you're passing the electrician, say hello. You're passing the hello, good morning, good morning. Nice to the cameraman, nice to the makeup artist, nice to the hair people, nice to the craft services, nice to the AD, nice to the actors. Stay away from the stars. They're not there for your pleasure and entertainment and autographs. They're busy working with the director, and they're busy carrying a show. Now, if one of them comes over to you and says hello, hello, okay? Just be professional. How many projects do you have to have before you can reach out to an agent or manager? It's not about how many projects you have to have. Let's say I'm walking in the mall and I see a little girl, and I know that we've been trying to cast I'll take Scarlett Johansson again. We're trying to cast her younger self. And I see a girl, and I'm a casting director, and I see a girl who looks exactly like Scarlett Johansson's younger self, like splitting freaking image. And I go up to her mother and I say, you know, your child looks exactly like Scarlett Johansson, and we're trying to cast that role. Has your daughter done any acting? Would you be interested in coming in for an audition? And they say, yes, she's been in class. And yes, we'd like to see. Okay, she gets the role, let's say. She's going to get an agent. She's done nothing else in her life, but she's going to get an agent because she's playing a younger version of Scarlett Johansson in a movie that she has lines and she's speaking. So this is something she's probably going to go straight to an agency. All she has to do is pick up the phone, her mother, and say, my daughter is getting cast as a younger version of Scarlett Johansson in the feature film, blah, 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 and she has 5 pages of dialogue or 10 lines, and I need an agent. And they'll be like, come in tomorrow, we'll meet with you. It's not about how many. Sometimes it's about how influential the project, how important the role. Other times it's about, if you're new and you don't have anything like that, you don't have any kind of really like jaw-dropping story. It's just you've been doing student films and short films and web series. Just having 1 or 2 on your resume doesn't say that you've been at it very long. Doesn't say you're taking it very seriously, and you don't have much training on there. So it's kind of like now you're competing with other actors because it's nothing specific. Someone who looks just like Scarlett Johansson, that's specific. If it's student, brown hair, brown eyes, that's not specific. Any student, any student. You've got 5,000 other actors who can play that. So your resume, they're trying to see, do you have experience on set? Do you have experience taking direction from other directors? Have other casting directors trusted you and hired you? You know, it's about showing people a body of work. At this point, you're trying to prove to people, I'm serious about this. I didn't wake up this morning and decide I wanted to be an actor. I've been training for it. I'm working. I'm doing student films, short films, web series, and I'm doing some in non-union television, some non-union features. I'm serious about this. So please take me seriously when you're considering bringing someone in for a series regular role or a guest star role or a co-star role. Does that make sense? When is your resume and acting clips ready to seek out a manager or agent? Well, that's pretty much the problem right there. Most actors really have no idea when their clips are ready to seek out an agent or manager. That's why I teach the Winner's Circle course, because you're not an agent or manager and you don't know what we see. And you don't know what great is, and you don't know what not great is. And most actors are under the delusion that everything they do is great. Or they say, this isn't really that great, but I didn't have anything else, so I put it on there. That's a no. This is the biggest area where actors, like everybody wants to have an agent. If you ask agents, if you ask actors, what are 2 complaints? I don't have an agent, or I'm not getting enough auditions. Those are the 2 complaints. I don't have an agent or manager, and I have one, but I'm not getting enough auditions. Okay. And it always comes down to that question right there. How do you know when your acting clips and are ready for, where was it? When is your resume and acting clips ready to seek out an agent or manager? Well, that's exactly what an agent or manager sits and looks at all day long during submissions. Actors submit their headshots and resumes and acting clips, and we turn down 99% of them. Which is why I created the Winner's Circle course, because if you really don't learn this, you don't get past that. You just don't. You go in the trash bin and nobody cares. Nobody cares. They care about the actors on their roster that are making money, and they care about the actor that comes next in the submission folder that has a great clip. That's the one they pay attention to. And yours, they don't care. So I can tell you when your acting clips are ready, but that's why I teach in the Winner's Circle, because in that private group, I can go one by one through everybody's clips. I'm not going to do that for 60,000 actors in here. It's not going to happen. Take up too much time, and I have other things I'm doing with my time. You know, the people that pay for my time and my energy, I am in that group every day, helping them step by step. That is where, you know, my focus is. It's the same in any business. My focus is on my paying clients, right? So if a Winner's Circle member says, you know, when it's 12 o'clock midnight, I have a question, can you help me? Yes, of course. If a Winner's Circle member says, I need you to look at my new clip, does this work, or what should I do? I'm there. I'm going to tell you, because that's my job. If just some random actor that I'm not working with asks me, I'm going to be like, why the fuck are you calling me at 12 midnight? Have you lost your mind? And there's probably, you know, what can I tell you? What goes in your clip is so critical. I can tell you the basic mistakes actors make, but even when I make that statement, and then they send it to me, I'll still see mistakes. That's why you need a professional. That's why you need a mentor. That's why you need someone to help you. You are not the expert, and you don't know. And you ask people who don't know. You ask other actors who don't know. You should never be asking other actors these things unless they're working on network television on a regular basis. Most acting clips from actors, especially new actors in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, suck. And you guys make almost all the same mistakes. You put unnecessary footage in your clips. You let other actors have lines in their clip that don't need to be heard. You're trying to tell a story in your clip that doesn't need to be told. You're not keeping the focus on you. Your lighting is bad. Your sound is bad. You're not even using a clip that really shows your acting. Your acting was shitty in it, and you can't even see it. There's so many reasons, which is why I tell you to get the course and get a mentor. Because once I look at your clip, I'm going to be like, great, or take this out, take this out, take this out, or it's ready to go. Post it. And then you never have to worry about that again. But most people the people that aren't taking the course or don't have that kind of mentorship, they're just trying to see what works, throw anything at the wall and see if it sticks. And then they have no response from agents. Well, I emailed 50 agents and no one got back to me. They're not going to. Yeah, but nope. They're not going to, because you don't know what you're doing. And listen, I say the Winner's Circle because that's what I do. If you have someone else in your life like Bonnie Gillespie, or someone else who understands how this business works and is giving you, go with them. Get the advice somewhere, get a coach somewhere, get someone to guide you somewhere, because without it, you're going nowhere. I know Alex Collins down in Atlanta, he does consultations and he talks with actors, go through your package and tell you what's good and what's bad and what's right and what's wrong. Get with a professional. Don't say, yeah, but he charges. Well, we don't work for free. You're wanting expertise. It's like Anthony Robbins. He gets paid millions of dollars to coach executives of massive Fortune 500 companies, to teach them how to have correct mindset and stay on track and have personal power and be able to be leaders to thousands of employees. He's not free. If you want expertise, it's going to cost you money, because we're bringing expertise to the table that you don't have. So whether you're paying me for a Winner's Circle, or Alex Collins for a session, or me for a consultation, or Bonnie Gillespie for a course, or whatever, you still need a mentor. If I can drill that into your brain, I mean, all these podcasts that you listen to are great. Taking acting classes is great, but you have to eventually formulate that into a plan of action. You have to take all this random information and actually put it into a step-by-step list. These are the 10 things I'm going to accomplish this year. These are the 10 things I'm going to accomplish next year. I have a 3-year plan. These are the 30 things I'm going to do. Let's go back to step 1. In the first year, these are the 10 things. Let me break those down into small, doable steps. Now, today, I'm going to do the first little one. You know, a lot of people want to plant the fruit, the seeds, I mean, and then eat the fruit today. You want to plant the orange little seed and then have it's time for that orange seed to grow into a tree. You know, your first year has 10 things on it that you're going to do, and you've broken those 10 things down into like 50 or 100 little tiny doable pieces. And then you're doing each of them, and you know you're on the right track, and you don't feel discouraged because you're doing the right things. And at the end of the year, you just completed those 10 things. That means you're 10 things further ahead than you were last year at this time. That's what having a coach or a mentor does for you. That's what having a plan does. Every business has a plan. A lot of actors want to start an acting business with a no acting business plan. No business is successful without a business plan. Any business that you look at, Delta, World Gym, McDonald's, AT&T, Netflix, every one of those businesses started with a business plan. They got to know what they want to accomplish and how they're going to do it and who they need to help them do it. What are they going to outsource? Who are they going to hire to do certain things? Who's going to do what? Okay, as an actor, you need a business plan. The winner's circle is a business plan. It is a plan that will keep you on track, taking the right action, doing the right things. And if you can find someone else who gives you good advice like that, work with them too. I know we're doing a sale for Valentine's Day. It's probably, I think they're resetting it because we had a glitch. Yesterday when we were doing the Valentine's monologues, and Amy Linden and I, she's like, oh my God, I love her so much. Nobody can direct an actor on how to audition better than she can. She's the bomb. But anyway, we had fun. But we had a glitch in the technology, and something wasn't working on the website, and something wasn't working with the link we gave, and it was like, oh my God. So we took the video down, we took both videos down, we're editing it, we're fixing it, and then we're putting them back up. So we reset the special, the Valentine's Day special. We'll let you still have the discount because a lot of people emailed like, why isn't the link working? And I don't want to miss the deadline, and I want the discount. So I'm going to continue giving the discount throughout the weekend. You guys just keep going to the link. I think we posted it. We'll keep it live throughout the weekend. Okay? Let me keep going. But I'm seriously telling you, you should probably get it because we're going to go up in price. So if you keep waiting, it's just going to keep getting more expensive because it keeps going up every few months. It goes up, it goes up. Because we have employees. We have people we have to pay. All right, so let's see. How do you know when you're ready for an agent or manager? Well, when you have good audition skills, when you have good acting skills, and you have an outstanding package that has multiple headshots and acting clips that are good, and you know how to audition in the room, you're ready to reach out to an agent or manager. If you have experience on your resume, you're ready to reach out to an agent or manager. Do you need both an agent and a manager? Could have wrong. I'm wrong. Yes. Okay. You need an agent because they are the ones that can negotiate your contracts and close your deals. Managers are also out there looking for auditional opportunities for you, but they cannot legally close the deals in California. They can in other states. So you can have just a manager in other states because they can legally close the deal. But here in LA, they cannot. So you need both. What's the difference between managers and agents, and what do they do? Well, that line has become very, very blurred because managers are doing a lot of what agents used to do. Agents used to be the only ones who got the breakdowns, and agents used to be the only ones that submitted people to casting. And managers didn't really exist like they do now. Managers now can get the breakdowns. They can submit actors to projects. They've always been able to manage, produce their clients' movies. They coordinate their clients' careers. So if you are on a series, they might be helping to coordinate your interviews. They're making sure that you're getting treated correctly on set and make sure that you have a lot of the things that you need. Like if you need to get your hair done, they might be making sure you get to the right hairstylist, or if they need to have somebody go water your plants and feed your cat, they might get someone in place to do that. They will help you get a business manager or help you get a publicist, walk you through problems. They're there for you emotionally, because the more successful you get in this business, the more toxic the people around you get, because the more everybody wants from you and you don't know who's real, and it's all fake. It's all fake liking. People fake like you because you're who you are, right? And you don't have a lot of people you can talk to because you can't trust them, because a lot of those people sell those stories to tabloids. So your manager should sign a non-disclosure agreement with you not to disclose anything you tell them personally and privately. And your manager is usually the person you can tell these things to and talk to in a way that you can't talk to other people. They're the person that's there for you when you're collapsing. They're there when you fuck up completely and they have to get on the phone with your publicist and try to cover everything up that you just did. Your managers do a lot. They do a lot. Agents don't necessarily do all that. Their job is to read through scripts, get you auditions, get you in the room, close the contract. Does that mean an agent isn't a good listener and can't listen to some of the things? Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't mean they can't be a friend if they need to be, but your manager is your personal support team. Okay. What kind of lighting kit? Okay, no, that's not where I am. No. How many managers or agents can you have? You can have one manager only, and you could have several agents. You could have a commercial agent, you could have a print agent, you could have a TV and film agent, you could have a voiceover agent. Some actors have all of that with one agency, and some people say, is that better? Not necessarily. Sometimes that works out really great. Sometimes it's better to have different agents representing you for different things, and you have different people's contacts and different relationships. Each of these companies have different relationships, so sometimes that's better. But you'll see what works for you. There's no one right way to do it. I mean, in order to have a strong acting career, you need the three pillars of being able to act, being able to audition, and having a great package. Without those things, that doesn't work. That has to be done. But in terms of everything else, there's no one right way to do it. I mean, you might be signed to an agency that represents you across the board and you get more auditions from their voice department than you did when you were with just a voiceover agent. You know, these kind of things nobody knows the tricks to those things. Okay. How do you find a good manager or agent? It's a long, drawn-out conversation that I think I'm going to pause on. Let me highlight that. You know what? I think that one is very important. In fact, I'm going to do a course, an independent course, just on agents and managers. I'm going to highlight all these questions that have to do with agents and managers. How to get an agent or manager? What's the difference? What do they do? Do you need both? How to actually find an agent that's right for you? How do you know if an agent is legit? How do you reach out to them? What should you write in a cover letter? What should you never say to an agent or manager in person or in a letter? What do agents expect from you? Why do they sign certain agents? What does an agency contract look like? How long should it be? How long can you get out of a contract? When do reps get paid? How much commission does a rep earn? How often should you stay in touch with the rep after they sign you? What annoys them? How do you build a great relationship with them? Okay. What do you can do to help get your agent or manager do to help them get you out there? Let's see. I'm going to do an individual training. I'm going to create a mini course separate from everything, just on this topic, because there's so many questions. I'm going to answer all of those questions. I'm going to create a new course called How to Get a Talent Agent. No, I'll call it 65 ways to get a talent agent, because I know at least 65 ways. I'm sure I can come up with exactly 60, probably have 100 ways to get a talent agent. But let's just go with 65 ways. I like that number, 65 ways to get a talent agent. And what I'll do is I will create a PDF to get a talent agent. 65 ways to get a talent agent. And I will create a PDF of 65 ways, and I'll send that for free because that's how I am. And then I will create a course, create an individual mini course answering all questions having to do with how to get an agent, what to write in cover letters, what to expect when they sign you, how to build a relationship, how to find the right agent for you, all that other stuff. I'll create a little mini course. I'm going to charge like, I don't know what I'll charge, 50, 60 bucks for that. I'm going to put in several days of work, and that's on my to-do list right now. I'm going to move it over here, taking it off this list. It's too much information to go through. It's going to take me hours and hours to freaking explain that. Just gave myself another project to do, but I love this. I mean, look, it's a Saturday. I've been here almost an hour and a half. What else would I want to do with my life besides help actors? Nothing. But my voice is getting tired, so I'm going to answer some more of these questions, and then I'm going to stop. I see 102 comments. I'll go through some of these. You got questions for me? I'll go through some. God, I wish I had a Starbucks. That's all I can say. Okay, so I'm going to put that down there, and this is the course I'm going to create. I'm going to do a mini course. I like it. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm going to make a mini course. It's going to help a lot of actors. I'm so thrilled. Okay. Yay, Wendy! You're so special. That's a good thing, honey. I like your choice. Yeah, I talk to myself. I'm my best friend. Okay. What annoys them? Oh, I have to add that down here. The agent area. What annoys them? A lot. Yeah, this is a sure way to lose your agent. There's so many ways. Like, I should add a question. Okay. What can cause you to get dropped, and how to prevent it? And I'll answer a couple more questions that they didn't think to write, which are, how do I know when to stay with my agent or leave? Yeah. All right, creating a mini course on that. All right, going back to the questions. When should you join SAG-AFTRA? You should, okay. Okay, so SAG-AFTRA is the union that protects actors and keeps you safe on set. It helps to make sure you get paid, and they are the professional governing body. And projects that are SAG-AFTRA, there's an entity that producers are responsible to. They have to meet certain criteria. And if a project is not SAG, they can do whatever the hell they want. Now, unfortunately, I should say, the projects that hire new people the most are non-union. There's no SAG involvement. There are no rules or regulations. They can work you as long as they want. They can tell you they're not going to pay you. They're just going to give you a meal instead. They're not always safe on set. they don't always have to hire, you know, a stunt coach, or they don't have to follow any specific safety standards. But student films and short films and all these stuff are a lot of them are non-union. So you're going to be in situations for the beginning of your career where you're doing these kind of things to get experience, to get on set, and sometimes to get footage for a reel, because sometimes the footage is good. When you audition, you are allowed to audition for union projects and non-union projects. You as an actor, even if you're not in the union, you can audition for both, union and non-union. When you book your very first union job, the union gives you a freebie. It's like, you can do this job. You don't have to join our union right now. You don't have to pay the $3,000 right now. You're allowed to do one for free. And then you can go back and do as many non-union films as you want. Another thing they say is, we'll let you do that one job. And in fact, we'll give you 30 days where you can do as many SAG jobs as you want. You don't have to join at all. 30 free days. But the very next day, the 31st day, if you get any kind of SAG job, you may not show up on set until you've paid our fee and join the union. That makes sense? So I'll say it again. You, a non-union actor, can audition for both SAG and non-union anytime you want to. You could audition for Modern Family. You can audition for a short film. If you book Modern Family and you go work on that show, that's one SAG job. You can do it for free. They'll pay you a SAG rate, and you don't have to join the union. You can go back and do all the non-union projects that you want. And as a bonus, they give you 30 free days where you can do as many SAG jobs as you want. So you can book 30 more TV shows that week, that month, and still not pay to join the union. But the 31st day, you're called a must join. And you must join the union, or you cannot show up on set for the next SAG job you do. Get it? So when you get an audition for something and it's a SAG project, the casting directors are going to call, the producers are going to call SAG and find out what your status is. They're going to find out if you're a must join or if you're 30-day okay, which means you still fall in the 30-day period, the grace period. That means, okay, we can still have them on the thing. Get it? But as soon as they find out you're a must join, you have to pay the fee. And I think they do it in 2 payments. There's a payment plan. I don't know. I think it's 2 payments. When do you join it? This is a strategic decision. You know, if you come out here and your type is really hot, and you come out and you go on a SAG audition and you book it, and then you do 2 or 3 short films, and then, you know, in day 45 you book another one, maybe you join. Because now you have 2 co-star credits on your resume on major television shows, and that has a lot of weight. I think you don't purposely plan on joining the union when you're new. You don't say, you know what, I wake up this morning, I don't really have a lot on my resume, but I think I'm gonna go join the union. You don't do it that way. You kind of join it when you've done a lot of non-union stuff. It's like, I feel like it's time to go to the next level. Or you get lucky and you book a union project and you really want to take it, and it's your second one and you have to join. And you think, you know what, I'm going in that direction anywhere in my career. Anyway, that's what I'm here to do, is be on TV, so I'm going to join. Don't do it off the bat. I don't know, about $3 grand. What does it cost to join the union? About $3 grand. How to meet casting directors. Audition for them. The best way to get an audition from a casting director is to do really well in your audition with that casting director, because then they will call you back for more auditions. They could call you back 100 times in their career. You know, they like you and they just keep calling you back. They just keep calling you back. And sometimes you might book a job with them. So the best way to get auditions from a casting director is do well on the audition you already have with them. That being said, Another way is somebody introduces you to the casting director. A friend, maybe you met them at the grocery store. Maybe, you know, like my roommate that I'm living with now, she was a VP of, I'm not going to go into what she was at Paramount for 20 years. You know, you might meet them in different ways. I have friends that have met casting directors who live across the street, or you volunteer with them at an event for animals. Like Victoria Burrows has her Actors for Paws, or Paws for, I don't know what she has. She has some kind of charity for dogs that I always support. You might work on a soup kitchen line with them. You might be at a film festival and meet the casting director. You might be at a networking event at SAG. They're free, and meet the casting directors. You might go to a show, meet them online, and they follow you back, and then they comment on your post, and you're like, oh my God, they commented on my post, and then you comment on theirs, and now you're in conversation. And then the last way is that you pay for a class with them. And if they're teaching, and I will make my position about this clear, like I have from day one, if they are teaching and giving you feedback and redirecting you on the scene and saying, you know what, that was good, but what I would like to see is you try it this way, then that is a class, and there's no reason that you shouldn't pay them for it because they're teaching. What is against the law in California is paid auditions, which have always been against the law, and they're against the law everywhere. You cannot pay someone to audition you for a project. So if you go into a workshop or casting director class and they don't give you any feedback and they don't give you any redirection and they just watch your audition, thank you, and then they send you out, that was an audition. That's against the law. And that's the reason why all of those places were shut down. They should never have been shut down, in my opinion. They should have been slapped with a hearty fine that says, you know, we noticed that some of your people are not teaching, and so here's a $10,000 fine. Anybody who doesn't teach in those classes should not be allowed to teach here. Your teachers that are good can stay. The other ones, we're fining them, and they have to go. Continue on. That would have been nice, but instead, that's not how it was done. There was a crazy person involved. We're trying to shut everybody's businesses down. And for a little while, he had some traction on that. But now we have several places that are still doing workshops because they never were illegal. They're just very diligent to make sure that nobody takes the headshots, because that's illegal, and people are not just watching auditions, they're teaching. So let's take Mark Teschner, who's a great casting director. I love that man. He cast General Hospital for like 25 years. He's like 30 Emmys. He's incredible. He's a great teacher. He loves to teach. So if you're sitting in his class, he's teaching you. But the byproduct of that is, yes, he's also noticing your work. So if he calls you in for an audition because he saw your work, good for you. You know, it's not like agents and managers and casting directors don't go to shows that they pay for. They pay to watch a show. They're watching you in it. You know, the money changes hands between actors and casting directors sometimes, you know, but in the workshop business, it has to be a teaching situation. And yes, you can meet them in those things. But I think the best way is to, you know, make a list of the shows you're right for, that cast people like you on it, and figure out who the casting director is and target those specific casting directors. Not just randomly shoot your materials off to anybody and everybody, because this is a target business. Target marketing, target branding, target actions, target. The more specific you get in your audition, the more clear you are in your package to show them your brand and your materials, and the more specific you are targeting casting directors, the more success you will have. If you're taking this, I'm just going to throw it all out there and see what sticks approach, that least amount of success you will have. So which way are you doing it? In a targeted, methodical, planned way, or are you just winging it and see what happens? Because that way doesn't work. How to stay in touch with casting directors. You can use thank you cards, booking postcards, one sheets. These are not things that, they're not waiting for your one sheet, but it's just an opportunity for them to go, oh, there's your face again, before they toss it in the trash. Up, there's your face again. Toss it in the trash. Let me answer some questions for a second. I can't with this for a minute. I need a break. Malcolm, HWC is on point. Whoop, it is. Hello. Michael, it's not expensive, guys. Seriously, it's Hollywood Winter Circle. It's only $300. Come on, if you can't afford that, you may be in the wrong business. Let's see. How are you? I'm good, Shane. How are you? Oh, Alex is great. I love Alex. I love Alex Collins. That's why he's a moderator in here. I think he's special. I can stand by Wendy's classes and advice. I've been listening to her for the past year, and now I have a few series regular auditions this pilot season. What I'm talking about is the truth. It works if you work it. If you actually act on what I'm saying, it works. I'm not trying to sell you a course that doesn't work. I'm not trying to teach you things that don't work. I'm not here like volunteering my time to tell you how to fail. You know, I'm here to tell you how to win. That's why I call it the winner circle, because those people are listening and they want to win, and I know how to win. So when you put what I know together with your actions, you can win. But all the things I know is just what I know. It's not anything unless you do something with it. You know, I'm telling you all this information, but unless you take action, it's just information in the clouds and the ethers just sitting in the air. I said it, it's out there. It becomes a reality when you take action on it. And then it becomes results if you take consistent action on it. And so I just want to be the person who gives you the information, the knowledge, the path. I know the path to working in this business, and in the dark, it's in the dark for actors when they first move here. But I'm like the light, shining a big bright light on the path, not just the foot right in front of you, but all the way down, because I know where the whole path goes. And I've got the light, and I'm shining on the path, and I'm saying, here's the safe way to walk. This way will get you there. I've seen it before, I've seen it again, and I've seen thousands of people take this path, and there they are over there on TV, on film, with agents, with managers, and you can be with them too if you do these things. Now, did I invent what's on the path? No. I'm not Apple. I didn't invent any of it. I just happen to know what it is, and I'm teaching you what it is because I've been in this business a long, long time. And I've seen what works for actors and what doesn't. I know what casting directors respond to and what they don't. I know what agents like and from actor submissions, and I know what they toss out. And I know what managers and agents are looking for. And not just in a random way. Like I was on the phone with Osbrink yesterday, and I asked her, you know, what are you looking for right now? And she tells me. So I know they're looking for Hispanic actors, Spanish-speaking fluent actors. So if you're Hispanic-speaking and fluent, call Dawn Osbrink at Osbrink Talent. So if you have a wide network, your network is so important. I have a wide network of industry people that I talk to on a daily basis. Agents, managers, casting directors, daily basis. So I'm giving you information that's based on truth and reality. I'm not guessing. It's hardcore shit, don't say no. And if you do the work, you will have the success. If you don't do the work, you will not. It's up to you. I wanted to get out of being responsible whether you did it or not. I wanted to be just the person that presented you with the information. And then went into Thailand and walked around and saw some temples and prayed and meditated and pet some stray cats and sat in my hotel and worked on a new course, and then come here and then give you the information you need, and then go in the winner's circle and help actors and give them the information they need, and then go to go to Spain and wander around Seville and look at the churches and see the beautiful art and all the amazing things that human beings have created, and hope to God I have one more day to see more beautiful things, and then go back to my hotel room and come in here and tell you how things work and give you guidance and motivation and inspiration and give you courses that help you and encourage you when I see you're failing or struggling and let you know you can do this and push you forward, and then go back outside and look at another church and pet somebody's dog and live my life and ask God for one more day to be here. That's all that matters to me. I'm not in here to sell you a course because I want to make money and hurt you. I'm not in here to give you wrong information. I'm in here to help you be successful. I'm in here to teach you the ways that it really works so that you can live this. You have this, you want to do this. Do you want it to just be a thought? Or do you really want to do it? I know what it feels like to sit on set in my own trailer. And they say, Wendy, we're ready. I like that feeling. I like that. I like being important, and I like being able to be creative, and I like having the opportunity to perform in front of people. And I know what it feels like to have that experience. And I want you to have it. I really, really just want you to have it. That's the only reason I do this. I want you to have it. It's a great feeling. It's great when you're living your purpose and when your fear is not in control of you and when you're able to show up on set and do what you dream of and you're working with people that you respect and you're getting paid to do it too. And then afterwards you completed a project that you had just been dreaming someday you'd be able to do, and there it is, you did it. That fucking gives me goosebumps. That drives me, you know? It's like, give me one more day to help more people, Lord, you know? I will answer some of your questions because there's so many questions more here. I'll come in here and I'll answer your questions instead. Okay, hold on. Let me see. What's a great way? Okay. So if we live in Arizona and my 10-year-old daughter is the actor, do I need an agent or can we have an LA manager? Well, you should have an Arizona agent. Kelsey, you're trying to build your daughter's experience. So in Arizona, there's Robert Black agency, there's Danny's agency, you know, there's agencies there in Arizona. Sign with those agents and let them get her projects in Arizona that she could be getting and submit her directly through Actors Access, etc. And yes, you can have an LA agent or manager too. I mean, a LA manager too, yes. What's a good way to, that was for Kelsey Castro. Luke's Edricon. What's a good way to make your mailing submission stand out? What's the best way to have an agent take a look at your clips or reels? Is it putting the link into your cover letter? Yes. And sending a DVD or flash drive. No one in their right mind is going to put a flash drive from a stranger into their computer. DVD maybe, but maybe not. A link. That's why I always tell actors, upload your acting clips to Actors Access and Vimeo and YouTube. So give the agent an opportunity. They can look at your Actors Access to look at your clips. They can look at Vimeo and just look at your link, or YouTube and look at the link. Janelle Sandler, how nice that you're here, sweetie. Ron Weisberg, is being a hyphenate better than these days in the past? You mean like an actor, singer, dancer? Russell Boast, the head of the Casting Society of America. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you for being a part of this podcast, this broadcast today. If you hear me saying anything that's not accurate, please correct me. Because you know me, if there's anything I'm wrong about, I'll be the first person to want to know. Ron Weisberg, is being a hyphenate better than being listen, I think there was a time in studio days where they trained all of their people to be singers, dancers, actors, you know. I don't think everybody can be a hyphenate. I don't think everybody's a singer and everybody's a dancer. I think if you have those skills, that's great. But back in those days when films were made, musicals, a lot more musicals were made. Being able to sing and dance was a much bigger part of filmmaking than it is today. You know, La La Land was one, you know, Glee, you could name musicals on one hand. So I don't think it's necessary that you have to be a hyphenate. But if you're extremely seriously talented and you're an amazing singer and amazing dancer, it's just part of your skill set. You should put it on Actors Access, LA Casting, Backstage, and let people know you can do it. And when you see a role you're right for, submit using those materials. You know, one of those talents might be the thing that gets you in the door. Tyrone Power, hi, Wendy. Should type reflect your training? And if so, how do you know how to train for your type? I'm not an average guy. What makes you not an average guy, Tyrone? So should type reflect your training? I mean, this question is confusing to me a little bit, but listen, if you, yes, it should. Yes. If you play a military kind of guy who's going to play an action hero, then you probably should learn firearms and learn stunts and maybe martial arts and things like that. If you're playing a secretary who's like a wallflower, then you really don't need that kind of training, right? If you're a tall, geeky, nerdy, dorky, computer hacker type of guy, it's not likely that you're going to get cast in a role where you need football. So yes, your type does reflect the types of roles you're going to get cast as. And if you know that you're Asian and speaking Mandarin would help you, you should learn it. If you're Spanish, speaking Spanish, you should learn Spanish, because that kind of training will help you get roles in your type. And when you say you're not an average guy, I don't know what that means. You should be specific when you speak to me. Let's see. Loving all the good tip. You're welcome. Can we send an Uber Eats to Wendy to get a Starbucks? Exactly. Is that something I can do? How do I do that? Mama needs a Starbucks, especially if you want me for more time today. Uber Eats. Will they actually come up with something that little? Is it a mocha cream frappuccino? I might start to cry when I don't have my chocolate. Okay. We have so many questions here. I don't know if I have time to. Hi, Katrina. Hello, everybody. Okay. So my 10-year-old daughter signed a SAG contract for 1 day. She was pulled because she wasn't as light as her older self. Should she still get paid? If she signed a contract and she worked, she should get paid. But this is a question you can call SAG-AFTRA for. What if I am a SAG and my kid and my husband are SAG-E? It's not a question. I have no content and don't have an established resume. I'm still discovering if I really want to do this. Okay. I've been in numerous audition rooms and I'm not yet booked. I only have one commercial agent. What are the steps I can take towards putting the pieces together to a great package? Well, listen, I teach how to put together a great package in my winner's circle, and I'm not going to go into all of the steps it takes to put together a great package because I've explained that in 65 videos in my course. So, but I will tell you, if you are new and you don't even know if you want to be an actor yet, you don't need my course. You know, don't spend your money on something you don't need. My course is for people who know they want to be an actor and who want legitimate professional guidance on how to build their package and how to build connections and relationships and get an agent and manager and work as an actor. If you don't even know if you want to be an actor yet, don't buy my course. Go spend your money taking classes. Don't worry about your package right now. You're putting the cart before the horse. Why don't you learn how to act and then learn if you like acting and do a couple plays and see if you even like being in front of people on, you know, performing. If you like learning lines and learning sides and playing other characters and performing and telling stories. And then if you decide that you love it and you're willing to do whatever it takes to make it work, then you get the course and then you do the work. But don't try to put the cart before the horse. If you're not really sure you want to be an actor, go figure that out first. You don't need to worry about a package right now. My son is 8 and has 1 co-star. So you waited. Good choice. Wait, he doesn't need to join. How does an actor, this from Tina Marie Negro Jackson. Tina Kura, how does an actor know when to try and make the shift from their own country to LA? I'm in Australia. Well, I would say, Tina, you should be working your ass off in Australia. And you should be having TV credits there. You have a TV market in Australia, you know. And you should be doing films there and networking with film festivals and trying to do films that come in from the US and other countries when they're shooting in Australia and have an Australian agent. So you should be building your career in Australia. And when you feel like you really are maxing out that market, that's a good time because now you're going to apply for an O1 visa. And the requirements for an O1 visa is that you have to have a career pretty much established in your own country. You need letters of recommendation from directors you've worked for and producers. You need clips from newspapers and magazines, publicity to show that you're a valuable working part of the acting community in your own country first. And then you get the O1 visa. So once you've done all that stuff, you'll know it's time to move. Yes, Kelsey, she's still able to apply as SAG for SAG jobs, but as soon as she books the next one, if she's within her 30-day okay period, then she can do it without having to join. But as soon as that 30 days is over, she's going to have to pay the SAG rate to join. And everybody should join SAG once they're ready to do that, because SAG is a body that protects actors, you know? Yeah, okay, so I love Mark Teschner too. I'm listening so I can win. Good, babe, and put action to what I'm saying, and then you really win. I'm happy I found you. Happy, yes. You're welcome, you're welcome. I'm gonna refrain from the you're welcomes and all that stuff and just answer the questions, but you're welcome, and I love you all. And you know that. Okay, I've been a manager for an actor, and we are way busier now than 2018 than okay. Is the Hollywood Winner's Circle still relevant for Australia's not intentionally looking to work in the US? Yes, and here's the reason why the Winner's Circle is relevant for any actor. Okay, obviously in the United States, but the way that it's also relevant for actors outside of the country is that the concepts of understanding you are in a business. You need to have headshots that are professional, not in front of a tree, not in front of a car, not with bad lighting, not with you looking off camera, not with you looking blankly at the camera, not posing. You have to have a strong headshot that reflects your type. Whether you're going to submit that to a job in Australia or Kenya or Germany, doesn't matter. You still need to understand how to create that. And acting clips, you still need to put together your package, whether you're presenting it to an agent in Zimbabwe, I don't know if they have them there, or wherever, Australia, England, New Mexico, South America, wherever you are, you have to have an understanding of business. It's like creating an online business. I have an online business. I have to study so much to learn how to have an online business. When I first started, I had a YouTube channel. You know, I could be teaching a course about how to create an online school, how to create an online business, how to make money selling your online products, but I don't want to, that's not my business. My business is helping actors become successful. I do what I'm passionate about. Other people are passionate about teaching people how to have a successful business. You know, that's what they're passionate about. That's not my passion. My passion is to teach an actor how to have a career, right? So you have to understand your business. Your business is, can you act? Do you have good audition skills? And do you have a package that represents your type, your brand, and the types of work you're right for? And is that package delivered at the highest possible professional level? And I don't care what country you're in, you have to do that. So yes, you apply the stuff in the Winner's Circle to that process. And then also you have to learn to network. Well, whether you're networking at a film festival in Australia or New York, same thing. You have to understand the concepts of that business, which are networking is not about what you can get from other people. Networking is about being of service to others. Networking is not about going into an event and trying to get to know everyone. It's about picking a couple of people and trying to build an authentic, genuine relationship with a few. There are things in your business you need to learn if you want to be successful, because networking becomes a huge part of it. It's almost the fourth pillar. It's a huge deal. How to stay in touch with people that you meet. How not to be a user and only calling them when you want something, but how to help them achieve their goals. And if you read books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, or any of the books you should be reading about business, it will teach you helping other people achieve their goals is the best way that you can network with people. I'm not going to go into a long conversation about that, but what I'm saying is when I decided to take my YouTube videos and turn them into a course, and then offer that online. And then that course became so successful that we started another course, and then it became an online school. I had a lot to learn. I had to go through a massive learning curve on how to create, and you have no idea how many books I've read on internet marketing, course building, customer, how to give platforms, and creating emails, and oh my God, I've had to read so many internet marketing books because I know the course I created should be in the hands of every actor. So now I got to become an internet marketing expert. It's like you have to learn your business inside and out as an actor. Okay, so as an actor, inside and out, how to act. Take every course you can, read every book you can, watch every video you can. You have to learn how to audition. Train with the best audition people you can find. Practice those skills over and over and over and over and over and over in between auditions, while you have auditions, constantly. Learn how to network. Read every book on networking. Read every video on networking. Practice what you're learning. Learn about how to take headshots. Learn everything you can in the winner's circle. Do what it says. You're going to fill your brain up with so much knowledge that this shit is no longer a mystery. Like, I just decided I'm going to create another course, 65 ways to get a talent agent. I know exactly how to do that now because I've been through this now for 3 years, right? So I went through this first course. We're launching the parent course. This is my 3rd course. I'm ready. It's not new anymore to me how to do this, right? I'm expert at it enough I could teach others if that was my passion. So, I mean, it's a long answer, but honestly, what I'm trying to say is the concepts of business apply everywhere. They're universal. The concepts of business, I don't care where you're watching this from, it's show business. It is not show hobby. That's show hobby. It's not show hobby. It's show business. So you better learn everything about business you possibly can. Sales, marketing, branding, promoting, PR, right? Well, I get passionate and I start to lose my voice. So, Alexander Yankovic, you're saying, hi, Wendy, if I'm speak English, but for no, it's not good level, I'm learning. Got it. Is it possible to have some role on a TV show or film? Yeah. You speak German, you speak Russian? What do you speak? You speak Yugoslavian, Polish, Czech, Serbian? What do you speak? You can play any roles like that where you're speaking in your language. You can speak an exchange student. You can play an exchange student with broken English. You could play in films that are made in your country, speaking your own language. If you want to learn how to speak like an American, to play an American, you're going to have to reduce the accent. Okay, this is Jai. Don't cry over it. Just do the work. There's lots of work. If you're I don't know where you are. You didn't tell me the country you're in, but with your name, it might be Russian, it might be Polish. I don't really know, but you have Russian television. You have Russian movies that are made. You have Russian theater. Start there. Is HWC recommended for parents, for kids that are 11? No, get the parent course. It's coming out in about a month. It walks parents through everything you need to do, like literally. You just need the course, trust me, and that it will guide you on what to do with your child, and you can watch those videos with him. They're child friendly. Postmates. Oh, Postmates. Yes, you can do it. Okay, let me see if there's more questions. I see 170 new comments, and I'm going to just go through the question ones. When do you feel that children need a manager? I have 2 children that have theatrical and commercial representation. Is a manager needed to? No, a manager's never needed if you have an agent, but a manager might have a tremendous amount of enthusiasm about your child. They might have different connections with casting directors, and they might be able to push your child for certain things. But in the LA market, kid agents tend to work with kids that have managers because parents need a lot of managing. It's not even about the kid. Because parents are doing everything for the kid. Kid just learns the lines and shows up on set. The parent is the one that has to learn how to download and upload to EcoCast and put things on tape and condense files and download scripts and take them to auditions and all that stuff. So when parents have questions, agents don't want to be called with those questions. They don't want to be disturbed with those kind of questions. And because agents in LA have 500 kids, they want managers to deal with all the stuff that parents are dealing with. Like, talk to your manager about that. because we're trying to negotiate contracts and schedule auditions. We're not in the technology teaching industry. So that's kind of why in LA or New York, especially LA, having a manager is very important for kids. If you're not in LA, like in Atlanta, they don't even, most casting doesn't even work with managers too much. Okay, most agents don't understand the purpose of why a manager's involved in some markets. So it depends on the market. Lisa Tyrone King, I'm SAG eligible, and everyone, CDs tell me to wait to join until I have to, correct? But this is limiting me while trying to get seen by CDs booking co-star. No, it's not limiting you. You can audition for any and every SAG project. Nothing limits you for that. What are you talking about? You're saying they won't even bring you in if you're not SAG? That's not true. A lot of people will bring you in if you're not SAG. If you're SAG eligible. But listen, I think my question would be, how much work have you actually done? Have you starred in feature film, non-union features? Have you starred in and had major supporting roles in numerous non-union features? Have you won any awards at any film festivals for your work? Or what have you done that would make somebody think, I'm going to take a chance on this non-union actor? She has booked a tremendous amount of work. Do you have incredible acting clips? Great reels that show your type and they're professional and they blow people out of the water with your acting? If you have your package together to that level, you know, you can consider joining SAG, but what city and state do you live in? I mean, if you're in Atlanta, I don't know if it's a right to work state. I don't think they can force you to join the union there. Some states you don't have to join. You can work both. If you're in LA, you need to book some co-stars and guest star roles. Yes, well, go book them. That's why I tell you, do workshops with casting directors and get seen by people who can bring you in for auditions and learn from people who can make sure that your audition skills are strong. Sarah Pink Sanchez, my daughter's 11 years old. She's spent the past year building up her resume and package. She's ready to look for a manager in LA. She's fluent. Anyone recommend it? Listen, go to Child Actor 101. That is a Facebook group that I started with Corey Ralston 2 years ago. He and I were admins. I brought in all the agents and managers from this group over there. And after a little while, I left because I can't stand parents talking and giving each other bad advice. I'm still there. I mean, I'm still a moderator, but I stepped down as an admin because I basically would just say, shut up on a daily basis. And that's not very positive. So one of the reasons I created the parent course was because I saw so many parents giving they give the wrong advice to each other. It's insanity. And if you can't deal with it. But I will send you over there because they do work. They do showcases. Corey is amazing. He puts together like agent showcases. So all the kids that need representation, he collects their demo reels and their actors access links and all that stuff. And he presents them to the 100 agents and managers I brought in there. Plus he's brought a bunch in himself now too. And he is really dedicated to that page and really made it something very, very special. And so you can get advice about managers, agents, even signed from that page, okay? She didn't even show up on set. I just said, call SAG, Kelsey, and ask them. Tyrone, not average as I'm on 6'10". Damn, that's tall. British man of color. There are many British men of color. Athletic build. Many men are athletic build. I don't want to play athletes. All right. Okay, so you're a big guy. I mean, let casting decide if they're going to cast a big guy playing other roles. What you can do is create clips and scenes and show them that you can play those other roles. And it'll be up to them whether or not they cast you in it. Or you create your own content and you put yourself in whatever roles you want to. Do you also offer consultations for recording artists and music industry? I do, but Melanie, I would say get my book first in this case, because there's 21 things that every artist has to do, every singer has to do before I'm even going to talk to them. And if they haven't done those 21 things, I don't have anything to say. So if you just type in my name, Wendy Alane Wright, 21 ways to get a singing career started, the basics are outlined in that $21 book. You should be able to, and in fact, if you don't want to buy the book, I put it in a blog that's free. Type in my name, the free blog should come up, and the book. Do whatever you want. The information's there. But I don't take money from people just to take money from people. I'm not doing this because I need your money. I'm doing this because I want to help you. And you don't need to pay for a consultation yet until you've gone through the free book or the free blog or the book and checked off a majority of those things. Because that will also give you the mindset of what you need to do as a singer and all the things that have to be done in order to become marketable. And then if you see that, whoa, I haven't done any of this, you don't need to talk to me yet. And if you've done a lot of what it says and you understand that those things have to be done, I can give you more guidance and be more specific on how to get it better and how to make it more marketable. But I don't want to teach you from scratch up some of the basic concepts. Okay, Melanie Byron, when auditioning for a film with a monologue, do you recommend Shakespeare or contemporary? Well, it depends on what you're auditioning for. If you're auditioning for a contemporary film, stay away from Shakespeare. If you're auditioning for contemporary TV, we don't need to see Shakespeare. If you're auditioning for theater, they usually want you to have one classical, one contemporary, one, you know. Tina Kura, thank you so much for answering my question. Okay. Let's see. Any other, here, a lot of questions. Okay. Predominantly a voice actor. Okay, if I don't see a question mark in there, I'm not gonna stop. So you said, Alexander, my first language is Russian, right? Like I thought, or Ukraine, yes. I'm in my country, yes, but we don't have a good level TV show, it's true, and have system has so much corruption. Well, so does ours now, but that's a different conversation. You know, start hanging out at film festivals and start taking acting classes and start learning how to act and collaborate with other young filmmakers. Go to filmmaking school, start working with other people and start creating content in your country. Get on set, student films, independent films, as much as you can. Your program is going to be gold for a lot of parents. Jazz, believe me, I know. I remember when I first told my mom I wanted to act, we were all over the place with so much misinformation going through scams. I know. Can't have that. I made a decision. I'm not living with that as a reality. I'm creating a course that stops parents from dealing with that. And of course, I only wanted to see the good in others. Now as an adult, I'm back and I finally feel like I'm headed in a good direction. Yay, what a time to be alive. I agree. Chantel Lindsay Agency is accepting kids. Thanks, Christine. My husband thinks it might help him book if he joins. Even my husband thinks it might help him book if he joins, even if he is in the room as SAG-E. Do what you want. See what works. It's not the end of the world. You become SAG, and then you'll be competing with all the other actors at SAG level. And if you have a resume that can compete with that, good for you. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So much welcomeness. Yeah, so that's a lot of the questions. I think I'm done talking about this. I really want to go get my Starbucks coffee now. So God bless you too. Thank you. You're very welcome. There's still like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 28 questions left. I'll come back another time and I'll do this. Let me see. Do another coaching with these remaining 28 questions. That's what I'll say, because I think I'm done for today. I will tell you that, you know, like I say all the time, if you want guidance and you want help in this business, take my course. It's online. You can take it at your own pace. It is something that you have for life. You can use it every time you get to the next level. You start to do the course material at that level. There's a private Facebook group I'm in. It's called the Winner's Inner Circle. And I'm in there coaching and helping actors through the course. If there's any questions, I look at their materials. I'll look at your materials individually. I can give you advice directly and specifically on your package, not general advice like I am in here. I'm available. You need a mentor, okay? If you think about what $300 is, I think it's $395 or something, but right now there's $75 off the course. Use the Valentine's link. I think it's right here in the comments. If you think about what that is, if you break that down over a day, it's like over a year, it's like $1 a day. I mean, It's a no-brainer. You're going to be paying $300 for an acting class for 1 month of acting classes. And then that class is done. And it hasn't taught you anything about the business. You don't know how to get an agent or manager. You don't know how to create strong package. You don't know how to build relationships with casting. You don't know how to market yourself. Okay. But you have spent nothing on your business side of it. That's ludicrous. How are you going to advance in the business? Spend the $300 and get the course. Now that course is available to you for life. You have a guide, a business plan, someone to walk you through and help you from one step to the next to the next. It's something you need. You need it desperately. And that's the reason I keep the price so low, is because I know you need it, and I don't want to price it out of your, your realm of possibility. If I start making it $700, $800 a course, people are, oh, I can't spend that much, even though still you have a version of that. So I will never do that. I'm keeping it at an affordable price so that it's worth your investment, period, and it's valid for the rest of your life. As long as the program exists and as long as the internet exists, you have access to the program. So take my advice. If you do not have an agent yet, if you do not have a manager yet, if you're not getting enough auditions, if you do not know enough casting directors, if you don't know how to get an agent or how to find the right agent, if you are struggling in your career, if you have never been on network television, a co-star or a guest star, if you've never been a lead in a feature film, you need to take my course. It will change everything for you. It will change everything. And every single actor who's taken the course, who's been inside the course and has seen what's there and is doing the work and getting the results, will tell you exactly what I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth. It is created for you to help you. And there is nothing else like it in the world that exists. It is the most powerful training that's ever been created for an actor because it was created by me. And if you think I'm telling you how things work here, wait till you take the course. In the meantime, I'm out of here. I'm going. I'll see all of the new people who are joining the Winner's Circle inside the Winner's Circle, and we'll work through your package and we'll get started and make sure you're on the right path. You're going to find a tremendously beautiful community in there because we're all like really happy, positive, supportive, helping each other. And this is not the kind of business you want to do alone, especially some of you don't have the family support you need, or you're coming out here without not knowing anybody. Well, listen, winners stand by winners. And we are there for each other, right? Winners win. Where it's a winner's circle because life, it's about a circle. It's about a unity. It's about putting all the pieces together so they all work for your good. And winners stand by winners. We take care of our own. So join us and we will have your back too. I'll see you later. God bless you all. Talk to you later. Ciao bella. Ciao bella.